Thompson part in its entirety, and he made it very clear. They have reliable sources around the league, and those sources are hearing the fever are out on Caitlin Clark. That's what they're hearing. There's been a lot of fire around Caitlin Clark being moved somewhere. The LA Sparks has been brought up. Michael Thompson also said the following. Here's a clip about the fact that it seems like the team purposely or for whatever.
The truth about what's happening in Indiana is becoming impossible to ignore. What many believed was a temporary struggle now appears to be a much deeper issue within the organization. Reports from trusted sources suggest that the Fever may already be considering a future beyond Caitlin Clark, a possibility that has stunned fans across the league. This goes far beyond a slow adjustment period or early season challenges, as many believe a once-in-a-generation talent is not being used to her full potential. As these concerns spread online, the spotlight on the coaching staff continues to grow, leaving difficult questions that can no longer be avoided. With one of basketball
guy writing hit pieces. What's going on? All of a sudden we got hit pieces. We got hit pieces coming out about Caitlin Clark ignoring Ty Harris on a high five. They're losing. Caitlin Clark's got razor focused, but now all of a sudden she's purposely shooing away her teammate. She's ignoring her teammate. I don't buy that. Call me crazy. I don't buy it. Let's start here. Michael Thompson, LA Lakers.
The controversy exploded when NBA veteran Michael Thompson publicly shared claims that quickly grabbed attention across the sports world. He suggested that according to sources around the league, the Fever may already be losing confidence in their highly touted rookie despite her historic success at the college level. The idea that a player with such an impressive record could face serious questions after only a handful of games has surprised many fans and analysts. Media personalities, including Shannon Sharpe, have helped bring even more attention to the discussion, with critics arguing that the coaching staff is trying to fit Clark into a system that does not fully match her.
About the fact that it seems like the team purposely or for whatever reason does not want to use Caitlin Clark in the manner that she needs to be used. Like what was the purpose? And one of the things he said is basically they drafted an all-world talent just to try to make her a plain old run-of-the-mill point guard. Crazy. Michael Thompson.
This in any sport, it'd be like taking the.
What has many fans concerned is the growing criticism of how Stephanie White is reportedly using Caitlin Clark on the court. Critics argue that limiting the skills that made Clark one of the most exciting players in basketball is similar to asking a superstar to stop doing what they do best. Many believe her deep shooting range and ability to create fast break opportunities are key parts of her game, yet they feel those strengths are not being fully utilized. As a result, some analysts say the coaching approach is preventing Clark from having the impact many expected when she entered the league. Rather than allowing her unique talents to shine, critics argue she is
breaking records, and that sends them into a full meltdown mode. Y'all mad yet? Too bad, deal with it. Yeah, well, she's white and she's straight. We know on the WNBA streets that makes her public enemy number one. Let's keep it real here. LA Times columnist Bill Plaschke calls Caitlin Clark oafish and spoiled in a takedown article. Los Angeles Times columnist Bill Plaschke posted a lengthy article. We're not going to read that piece of shit. Expressing his disdain.
The team's record is becoming harder to ignore, and concerns are growing as the season progresses. If the Fever drop their next game, they will find themselves well below the .500 mark after only 11 contests, adding even more pressure to an already intense situation. At the same time, Many fans feel that some media coverage has focused more on criticizing Caitlin Clark than fairly evaluating her performance. Recent commentary from high-profile journalists has sparked debate, with supporters arguing that Clark is facing unusually harsh scrutiny despite her accomplishments and impact on the game. As the discussion continues,
entitled, spoiled, coddled. The title of the article is, quote, "Whiny Caitlin Clark's tired antics needs to end." It was the very definition, folks, of a hit piece. Kind of strange what's going on. New York Post, Caitlin Clark appears to snub Fever teammate in awkward shoulder pat moment. And here it is. I think most people think.
Many supporters believe there is a deeper debate surrounding Caitlin Clark's place in the WNBA that goes beyond basketball itself. Some argue that Clark has become a lightning rod for controversy because of the attention and popularity she brought into the league, while others believe she is being judged more harshly than most young players. Her fans often point out that she appears focused on improving, competing, and helping her team win rather than engaging in off-court debates. As her profile continues to grow, so does the scrutiny from critics and media personalities, creating an increasingly divided
You think if Caitlin Clark signed with Clutch Sports, with Rich Paul, with Maverick Carter right now, or Drew Rosenhaus, the agent would be calling up Amber Cox and Kelly Krauskopf. That agent would be getting in their ass right now. You know? And agents know how to put out fires too. That's what they do. That's why they get paid. Her agent's been...
Many critics believe the issue goes beyond game strategy and extends to how roles are being defined within the team. They argue that Caitlin Clark has not been placed at the center of the offense despite arriving with expectations of becoming the franchise's cornerstone player. While Kelsey Mitchell remains a highly respected and talented scorer, some fans feel the current approach does not fully take advantage of Clark's unique skill set. This has led to growing concerns that the team is not maximizing the potential of one of the most highly anticipated young players in recent basketball history. As the season continues, questions about leadership...
StubHub, I think it was, earlier. And in Indiana, home games. It's the road games where people are paying money. Home games, for the foreseeable future, you can get in for like $11. And there's not a solitary game I looked at that's close to being sold out. If they keep losing and Stephanie White keeps using Caitlin Clark in the manner that she's using her, look for that to get worse.
Concerns are also growing about the team's business outlook as the season unfolds. While games featuring Caitlin Clark continue to attract significant attention around the league, some observers have pointed to reports of lower ticket prices for certain home games as a sign that fan enthusiasm could be affected if the team struggles to win consistently. Many supporters believe expectations were extremely high entering the season, and they want to see a product on the court that matches that excitement. If the losses continue and questions about player usage remain unresolved, pressure on the organization will likely increase. And
if she thinks that, and if Amber Cox thinks that, and Kelly Cross, Linda, they all should, Herb Simon should take a flamethrower to the whole front office. If I set them down one-on-one, and they all gave me the beat around the bush, this is not Caitlin's team, blah, 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 in no, in certain words, even if they didn't clearly say, this is Caitlin Clark's team, we're building around Caitlin Clark, blah, 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 I'd be running everyone.
Speculation about Caitlin Clark's long-term future has continued to generate discussion, with some commentators suggesting that other teams could be interested in building around her talents if the current situation does not improve. Supporters argue that Clark's popularity, skill set, and ability to attract attention make her one of the most valuable players in the sport, which is why any rumors involving a potential move quickly gain traction. At the same time, recent debate has also centered on a widely shared clip that appeared to show Clark missing a high-five with teammate Ty Harris. Some critics used the moment to question team chemistry, but many fans viewed it as nothing more than a brief incident during an emotional and highly competitive game. In fast-paced situations, small interactions can easily be taken out of context, yet they often become major talking points when involving one of the most closely watched athletes in basketball. Many supporters believe the level of scrutiny surrounding Caitlin Clark has become excessive, with even minor on-court moments being analyzed and debated far beyond their actual significance. Critics of the media coverage argue that routine interactions during intense games are sometimes used to create narratives that may not accurately reflect reality. At the same time, questions have also been raised about whether Clark's representatives are doing enough to protect her interests during such a high-profile stage of her career. Some fans feel a more aggressive approach from her management team could help address public criticism, strengthen her position within the organization, and ensure her growing brand receives the attention it deserves. As discussions continue around her role, endorsements, and future development, many observers believe the people guiding her career will play an important role in shaping what happens next. Many supporters believe that when a player arrives with a level of talent, attention, and expectations that Caitlin Clark brings, the organization should focus on maximizing her strengths rather than asking her to completely change her style of play. Fans often point to other star athletes whose teams built systems designed to help them succeed, arguing that Clark deserves a similar opportunity. Critics of the current approach feel the coaching staff has been too focused on fitting her into an existing structure instead of adapting to the unique skills that made her one of the most influential players in recent basketball history. At the same time, growing attention on the team has fueled speculation about locker room dynamics, with some observers wondering how a veteran roster adjusts when a highly publicized rookie becomes the center of national attention. While these discussions remain largely speculative, they continue to add another layer to an already intense conversation surrounding the Fever and their future. Many observers believe that successful teams thrive when coaches clearly define roles and create a shared vision that every player can support. Critics of the Fever's current approach argue that uncertainty about leadership and offensive priorities may be contributing to the team's struggles on the court. Some fans feel that Caitlin Clark's talents are not being fully utilized, while others point to broader issues involving chemistry, consistency, and execution. As losses continue to mount, frustration among supporters has become more noticeable, leading to increased scrutiny of coaching decisions and team direction. Media personalities such as Shannon Sharpe have added to the conversation by questioning whether Clark is being put in the best position to succeed. With expectations remaining extremely high, many believe the organization faces growing pressure to find answers quickly before the season slips further out of reach. Many supporters believe Caitlin Clark is carrying enormous expectations as one of the most recognizable faces in the sport, which is why every development surrounding her continues to attract intense attention. Some fans argue that media coverage has become overly focused on creating controversy, with routine moments and minor interactions often being presented as signs of larger issues within the team. They feel that Clark receives a level of scrutiny rarely seen for a young player, especially considering the attention, viewership, and excitement she has helped bring to the game. As debates around her role, performance, and impact continue to grow, supporters maintain that much of the criticism overlooks her contributions and potential.